Well, our story is the story of how Peter becomes Peter Pan. He's a young orphan boy, alone in the world in 1940s London, and one night he and his friends get whisked up into a pirate ship by evil pirates and taken to work for Blackbeard in Neverland, and thereby begins the adventure which eventually leads Peter to becoming Peter Pan. I guess the newest character of all is Blackbeard, who is mentioned in J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan a couple of times as the person who taught Hook everything he knew. And so Jason Fuchs, our writer, brought Blackbeard to life. The big twist on our Hook character is, of course, that in our story, Hook is not a captain at the beginning and he's a goodie. Casting the movie was a lot of fun, actually, and in order to get the movie green-lit, as we producers have to, we needed a star, and we were very lucky that Hugh Jackman had a window in his schedule and loved the idea of playing a big-assed villain. And the big search, of course, the crucial search was for Peter, and that took the longest time. We did a search across every English language speaking country in the world, saw thousands of boys, and Joe, I think individually, Joe Wright, the director, probably saw a couple of thousand auditions. And there was something about Levi Miller, who'd given his initial reading on camera in a little room in Brisbane in Australia, and there was something about this kid, the sparkle in his eye, and there's something about his sweetness and naivety and lovableness, and it felt like he could really give the character heart, and that's what the story really is about. It's about a boy searching for his mother, and he needed to make us cry, and we think that Levi's does that. Well, Rooney Mara is one of the best actors in the world, there's no doubt about it. And when she auditioned for Tiger Lily, she was hands down the best person we'd seen. Garrett Hedlund as Hook gives us a kind of heroic, incredible good looks, great physicality, great warmth and tenderness. And crucially, on set, he really looked after Levi. So, you know, it's a big responsibility having a 12-year-old make his first movie and be the lead. And we think Rooney, Garrett and Hugh all helped Levi realise his potential. Well, Joe and I are partners. This is the fourth film I've made with him, so I've seen him most days for the last 10 years, so somebody I really know and love and admire his vision. And the thing about Joe is that he always surprises me, and that always when he comes up with an idea which I think is too much, I know not to say, that's too much, because he's going to be right. Time and time again, when he pushes the thing, gets a bit outlandish, that's when you get really good things coming out of his head. From a production point of view, the biggest challenges were the set pieces. The fight sequence at the end in the Crystal Kingdom was an enormous set piece, took about a month to film, and the sheer scale of Joe Wright's imagination and what he wanted was the real challenges. And, you know, even though we had plenty of resources, you still have to bring the thing in on budget and on schedule, and that was a big challenge, which fortunately in this case we managed to do. I think the idea of a boy who never grows up, who lives in a world of his own creation, of his own fantasy, is something that everybody in the world can understand, and it's become a legend and a myth that's not just in our hearts in England but all over the world. And I think what we've done is giving it a fresh kind of punk rock spin, if you like, something that people haven't seen before, but still delivering the same good times, good-hearted message that Peter's original story does.
You talk about giving the film a rock dimension. That's nowhere more clear than when they're singing Nirvana in the film. Can you talk about, because that was quite an interesting choice, I think.
Yes, I think that's a choice that's going to divide people. Some people are going to like it, and some people aren't. It wasn't in the script. It's something that Joe devised in rehearsal with the actors. He was originally thinking of the pirates singing traditional pirate songs, but thought them too fey and too kind of light. So he thought, well, what would pirates be if pirates existed now? He said, well, they'd be punks, you know, they'd be grunge artists. So let's have them sing Nirvana. So we know it was a risk. Personally, I'm very proud of it, and I'm happy to think that it's going to polarize people. Why not?
Looking to the future, could we get more adventures with this cast, with this family in Neverland?
Certainly hope so.